Hi, everybody. My name's Chris Lynch. I'm currently the Director for Technology Transformation in the infrastructure team within OPTUS IT. Part of my qualifications is I do have a Master's from University of New South Wales. It's a Master's of Business Technology, which is now known as an MBA course with technology major. So I work for OPTUS IT. A lot of people know OPTUS because it's a strong brand in Australia, but we're effectively providing mobile and fixed services, as well as OPTUS Sport and other content providers to Australia, into making sure that we can connect people to their homes across Australia. My career kind of chose me. So when I was in high school and finishing the HFC, I submitted all my applications to university. I also submitted an application to an Optus program, which was called the cadetship at the time. Now, the Optus program was centered around getting your studies and your technical qualifications through a partnership with TAFE New South Wales. And so I ended up choosing that as an option. So one of the advantages of that was for me, I was in high school in sort of outside of Sydney. I wasn't quite sure how I was going to be able to maintain my income if I was going into the university systems. And so I selected the option to take the cadetship as I was getting paid while I was studying and learning. So advantage of that was a bit more security for myself. However, it meant that I didn't quite get the holidays that everybody at university did, and didn't quite get to enjoy the O week fun and festivities as well. My role today, I've had a fair few different careers within Optus, so I've been there for over 20 years now, and so I've changed from where I started, absolutely significantly. I started getting my cadetship and my qualifications with an advanced diploma in telecommunications engineering, which is more around sort of making sure the mobile towers worked and making sure the connectivity worked. Halfway through my career, I've did a little leadership courses, so I've got a diploma in frontline leadership. Then I moved out of sort of technical roles into some more IT roles, where I was testing my leadership capabilities. That's when I actually went and did some extra studies to get my master's degree, and that's what sort of really helped me with my career. Some of the options around continually being flexible and continuing to develop have really helped. So for one of the key parts of my master's degree is I did a marketing course, which actually I found really fascinating, which is a bit different for someone coming from an IT and a technology background. But trying to think about why people would get your services and how people will use your services for me was something that was really, really fascinating. And it helped me then take other career opportunities as well. So at the point of time I was doing my marketing at university, I was also given the opportunity to take a go-to-market lead or a business development lead, working with our telco partner in Thailand, AIS. So that's where I was really able to do something different from a development and a studies point of view, but bring that back into what I did at work as well. So that was a pretty unique but great opportunity when you're working for a large company like Optus and Singtel, that you do get some of these opportunities popping up every now and then. So my advice would be to take those opportunities throughout your career when they do come up. If you can afford to work a little bit harder, stretch yourself, taking some of those projects really help you across the long term of your career. A couple of highlights from my career is I also got to spend time working with the CEO of Virgin Mobile Australia. That was a really great time for me because I really got to appreciate that it's not necessarily about the details of technology that's really important to a company, but it's the value that it's going to provide to the organisation or to the customers. So for me, being in a leadership role in IT there, it was a really challenging period where I had to understand the technology, really get excited about how fantastic some of the work we were doing was, but I couldn't talk about the technical aspects of the projects or of what we were developing, because we really had to make sure that we had the customer and the business front of mind. So that's sort of one of the key challenges is when you're heading down an IT career path is you've got to keep remembering that once you get to a certain level of technical capability, is that a lot of people across a company will not be able to really understand or appreciate the technical aspects of what you're doing. And you need to really think about how can you continually reframe yourself to talk about the value it's providing to either the business as a whole, or to or to the end customer who's going to be using the service. My role as it stands today is I'm now looking after the infrastructure, which is everything from the laptops we put into the hands of employees to our data centers to our cloud strategy. So it's quite a broad role, and some of the challenges that we have in technology is that the technology changes so consistently. It's making sure you keep refreshed. So part of the challenges that I'm facing at the moment is how do we take on board some of the newer infrastructure style capabilities and make sure we have infrastructure for code through through new technologies like Kubernetes, Docker, etc., to make sure that we can keep Optus modernized as much as possible. And that's one of the challenges that you'll face in IT is that technology changes so fast, is that you've really got to make sure that you're continually redeveloping yourself and reskilling yourself on things as they change. A lot of the IT technology that was there when I came out in the 1990s is no longer really relevant today because things do move fast. So selecting a career in IT, in technology, you need to make sure that you're adaptable and consistently learning. And it's that consistent learning is probably one of the key value points that we would look for anybody coming out of a graduate program. It's that flexibility, it's that desire to always look at things differently and always learn more about new things. So I've recently sort of interviewed a number of people. We're taking on some interns soon here at Optus, which is great. And some of the key attributes we're looking for was these interns who are currently at university constantly stretching themselves and challenging themselves to use technology. There'll be things you'll learn at university that aren't quite yet in the corporate space. And so that's where you've got to make sure that you really are flexible in terms of what you're doing and keep testing yourselves. So some of the emerging technologies like machine learning, people at university will know a bit more about than people in the corporate world. So it's making sure that you're continually challenging yourself, continually looking at the latest technology trends, and always working to make sure you can articulate the value about why you're doing things. That'll be one of the key attributes we'd look for people coming out of a program like this.